What great honor. What great honor and pleasure to welcome you back to the Davos community. Just 4 days into your new mandate, we highly appreciate your presence with us today. We wish you all the best as you take on your critical work ahead. The global challenges we face today are monumental.
A year ago, I stood here before you alone.
Yes, welcome back. This is the third video partaking to the World Economic Forum. If you have not seen my reporting partaking to this, please check my previous upload. Davos has begun to crumble. President of Argentina addresses WEF audience, tell them their time is over, and a new alliance of freedom-oriented leaders has risen, including the likes of President Trump. I don't know if you've seen this. I'm going to play the whole video and some other clips so you can see exactly what he actually said. The World Economic Forum is not like before. Things have changed. Trump recently gave a speech in this same forum, which I will actually do a report on that on my subsequent videos. Before we even go into that, first take a look at this.
A year ago, I stood here before you alone and spoke some truths about the state of the Western world that were met with some surprise and astonishment by much of the political, economic, and media establishment of the West. And I must admit that in a way I understand it. A president from a country that, as a result of systematic economic failure for more than 100 years, as a result of having the country taken weak stances in major global conflicts, and as a result of us having closed ourselves off to trade, we had lost practically all international significance over the years. A president of such a country stood on this stage and told the entire world that they were wrong, that they were headed for failure, that the West had gone astray, and that it needed to be redirected. The president of that country, Argentina, who was not a politician, who had no legislative support, no backing from governors, business leaders, or media groups. In that speech, here, standing before you, I told you it was the beginning of a new Argentina, that Argentina had been infected with socialism for far too long, and that with us it would once again embrace the ideas of freedom, a model that we summarize as the defense of life, liberty, and private property. And I also told you that, in a way, Argentina was the ghost of Western Christmases yet to come, because we had already experienced everything you were going through, and we already knew how it would end. A year later, I must say that I no longer feel so alone. I don't feel alone because the world has embraced Argentina. Argentina has become a global example of fiscal responsibility, of commitment to honoring our obligations, and obviously a commitment to solve the inflation problem. Also, we are an example of a new way of doing politics, which is about telling people the truth to their faces and trusting that they will understand. Nor do I feel alone, because over the course of this year, I have found allies in this fight for the ideas of freedom in every corner of the world. From the amazing Elon Musk to that fierce Italian lady, my dear JMilei, from Bukele in El Salvador to Viktor Orban in Hungary, from Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel to Donald Trump in the United States. Slowly, an international alliance has been forming among all those nations which, like ours, want to be free and believe in the ideas of liberty. And slowly, what once seemed like the absolute global hegemony of the woke left in politics, educational institutions, in the media, in supranational organizations, or even in forums like Davos, has begun to crumble. And a hope for the ideas of freedom.
Yes, if I lie to you that I don't enjoy this man at this point, look at what he said here. The time is over. These people should just stop whatever thing they are planning. When you look at the rise of politicians, that are coming in, they are against these people. The World Economic Forum was regarded as something else in the past, but right now things have changed. That speech Trump gave, telling these people into their faces, they are only two genders. Trump actually said a lot of things into their faces. Klaus Schwab was actually shocked. I think I'm going to do a different segment pertaining to that. I reported this video a few hours ago. I don't know if you've seen that. Let me replay it.
Trump has done something no person in the world has ever done before. A dead man, a dead politician, has risen. Somebody who, if we were 4 years ago at Davos, he's buried, dead politically, known to me. He's now returned. This is the greatest comeback in political history of a politician. And then, therefore, he thinks he can do anything.
We need to also factor in not only who's won, which is Trump, but who's lost, which is to say us. And I guess I would throw into that the epitome of the us who is losing here is Europe. That the European Union and by and large its member states have misread the direction where events were going. The causes that it is interested in, climate, human rights, some others, as well as the methods of diplomacy that it prefers, are simply being gradually kind of marginalized as something new, not necessarily something better, but something new moves into the center.
I propose putting...
You can see the panic in here. During his speech at the World Economic Forum, Spain leftist Prime Minister Pedro expressed his proposal to eliminate anonymity for all social media users. This is crazy. I don't know if someone used a comment to spark on this man on social media or what exactly. I don't understand. They want to do something in such a way that you cannot hide yourself on social media. That is what this guy is advocating. Crazy. At a certain point, when I saw this segment, it is 2 minutes long. I'm going to play so you can see their plans. Though some countries tried with X, like Elon Musk should be able to review every account. Elon Musk rejected because it violated a lot of rules.
I propose putting an end to anonymity on social media. In our countries, no one can walk the streets with a mask on their face or drive a car without a license plate. No one can send packages without showing an ID or buy a hunting weapon without giving their name. And yet, we are allowing people to roam freely on social networks without linking their profiles to a real identity. This paving the way for misinformation, hate speech, and cyber harassment, because it is facilitating the use of bots and it is allowing people to act without being held accountable for their actions. Such an anomaly cannot continue. In a democracy, citizens have the right to privacy, not to anonymity or impunity, because with those two, social coexistence would be impossible. That is why I believe we must push forward the principle of pseudonymity as the functioning element of social media and force all these platforms to link every user account to an European digital identity wallet. This way, citizens could use nicknames if they want, but in the case of a crime, public authorities would be able to connect those nicknames to real people and hold them responsible. Because accountability is not an obstacle to freedom of speech. It is an essential complement to it. On social media user, or it's much better to say, one social media user, one real ID. This is the only way to really ensure that minors do not access inappropriate content that people who commit crimes are banned or prosecuted from social networks, and that the millions of fake profiles that exist and influence the public conversation are removed. My second proposal is to force open the black box of social media algorithms once and for all.
The prior government was maybe more popular internationally. In financial services, they were not very...
That undermine collective progress and lead to profound societal and political shifts. To counter the erosion of hope and confidence in our future, we must go beyond reacting just to crisis.
To steal it from.
A short time ago, Mr. and Mrs. Trump.
Also attending were all those people who warned Americans to shun this wannabe fascist dictator called Trump. Look at me, Ma! Oh, let's go see Hitler and get a quick selfie first. Hello, look at us!
It's because of merit.
And sparks move things. And it doesn't matter how much water you have.
Future president and his gag.
Or a funky in policy.
The city of the Pacific Palisades is burning. And, I flew here last night. I was on the plane. Started getting texts.
So I am evacuating my home.
What we need to do against what we know is right. And these are the results.
Some is now calling that Governor Newsom should step down.
This is you getting water to areas that need water because there are fires in 100-mile-an-hour winds.
The situation is beyond control.
For the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
What do we do?
Right now you're looking to remember it.
As a country about
yeah, and then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know, but it's like, it's sad.
I want to be,
Jim Jordan.
In the 5 tenants of
Palisades Village right here. This is the town center of sorts.
And he did this little dance.
Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii, who had some.
And then we watch the news or talk to my friends.
Buying up properties and the likes.
These people lost their...
We went to the Starlight Ball.